Artificial intelligence or AI is one of the hottest topics of the day. So in this session we have just covered the very basics introductions of artificial intelligence. We have not discussed much about the algorithms, coding, or we have discussed about the AI, machine learning and deep learning. We have just given a short introductions with pictorial diagram for anyone to understand about artificial intelligence. So if you are new to artificial intelligence, this video is just for you and it will help you out getting the basic knowledge of artificial intelligence. So have fun watching the video while I will give you the detailed introductions of artificial intelligence. Topic for discussions are: what is an artificial intelligence, history of artificial intelligence, then we'll talk about artificial intelligence which is around us, then we'll talk about difference between AI, ML and DL, which stand for artificial intelligence as said several times, machine learning and deep learning. Then fifth, we will talk about research on data science, and then we'll talk about more about AI, ML and DL. Then on 7th, we will talk about the fundamentals of machine learning. Then on 8th, we will talk about how AI learns. Then on 9th, we will talk about supervised learning, then unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, algorithms of machine learning, applications of AI, and then industrial applications of AI. Discussed in 1950, we will talk in our next slide. In this slide, artificial intelligence referred to the stimulations of human intelligence in machines that and mimic their actions. The term may also be applied to exhibit traits associated with humans' mind rich as learning and solving complex problems. And then the ideal characteristics of artificial intelligence and take actions that have the best chance of achieving. So in a nutshell, an artificial intelligence should mimic humans-like characters. They should have think like human. They should have natural language processing abilities. They should have reasoning abilities. They should be executing the task physically as we do. And these are several keys that we will talk in our upcoming sessions when we talk more about AI and particularly the traits that an artificial intelligence should possess. In the introductions, we will just stop with this basic introductions and we'll move to the history of AI. Now, the history of AI. So AI is not a new concept. It has been around us for a while. It has been around us since 1950 and it was first proposed by Alan Turing, and according to his definitions, it has to have natural language processing abilities, knowledge representations, automated reasoning and machine learning, which means it could learn what we feed to then AI systems or AI programs. Well, then in 1956 the field of AI research was born at Dartmouth College, where the term artificial intelligence was coined by John McCarthy. Let's move to the next slide. AI around us. So you have often see AI and the concept, and this concept is around us when we use our Google Assistant for voice search, when we use our Alexa, and self-service vehicles which is around us is also a concept of AI. However, these are narrow AI. Then we have the social bots that is quite getting popularity on YouTube and other social media platforms. So these are three things that we often come to see in our day-to-day life. Now moving to the next one is the difference between AI, ML and DL. So we often get confused at what is AI, what is machine learning and what is deep learning. And to further clarify the concept, I'm going to tell you what is AI, what is ML and DL. So machine learning actually is built upon mathematics. So machine learning is all about mathematics. It uses training data for predictions or decisions making. Okay, and rely on deep learning to solve complex problems. I hope you get that. So machine learning rely on deep learning to solve complex problems. Now moving to deep learning. Deep learning is also a subfield of AI. It's based on human neural networks problems like machine learning do. So yeah, both have similar traits. However, deep learning goes beyond machine learning. So machine learning is above deep learning, and deep learning goes beyond. Let's see this in our next slide. So here we have research on data science, which has been done since 1950, and the first one is natural language processing, as you can see on the top. Then we have robotics and machine learning. Then we have image recognition technology. Then we have learning model, speech recognitions, and then we have autonomous vehicles. Here we have just talked about this in our earlier slide, where artificial intelligence in which deep learning falls in. So artificial intelligence in this category, we have machine learning and deep learning. AI, machine learning, deep learning, and what is it in relation to data. So think of this as a restaurant where you're going to eat your meal. For them, we feed data to the machine learning algorithms or AI algorithms in general, and these data then processed back to us, and with this information they learn from the data what is image, about the various images, and then it works basically on data. So this is for everyone. This one can get that. Data matters on AI because data is everything in artificial intelligence. So I hope you get that from this concept. Fundamentals of machine learning. So let's intelligence, like I said, it is a specific study of algorithms and a statistical model. So machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence. It again works on algorithms to perform a specific task. Then machine learning built on mathematical based on sample data known as training data. So whenever we give a sample data, these sample data are called training data that has been given to the machines. It is used for make predictions and decision making by the machine learning and AI technologies. So data, it makes the correct decisions, and it helps us making the right decisions for computers, to gain the overall insight of the program, or the program that we want to run into the software. Now, how AI learn? So there are three ways AI learn. Number one is supervised learning, and then unsupervised learning, and finally reinforcement learning. We'll talk about this in detail, and let's start with supervised learning. So what is supervised learning? It is a method in which existing data is used, known as training data set. The data then is being fed to the machine continuously in order for machine to understand the data with 97% or 100% accuracy. So let's say we constantly supervise and we constantly feed the data based on the requirement we want, based on the output we want from the machine. So let's say we have a machine here, and in this supervised learning we are trying to teach machines that how the apple look like. So for example, if the apple is red, it is a matured and ready apple, ready to eat apple, and if it's green, then it's not ripened yet. So machines, by feeding a lot of data, by inputting a lot of data, by feeding a lot of data into the computer, and this is called supervised learning. The example of supervised learning is we often see in a similar set of data is given to the spam filters, which is using machine learning technologies, which is quite popular in Microsoft Outlook, Gmail, and other database companies, who is monitoring these. So, if you get an email asking for a link or for your money, or your account detail, then this goes to your spam, because the spam filter can recognize that, because it is using artificial intelligence, machine learning, to recognize the set of data. Next is unsupervised learning. It is in which cluster of unlabeled data feed to the machine. The machine recognizes the familiar data out of the unlabeled data from the new training data set and separate it from the data cluster. Earlier we have fed the machines with the data of apples and their traits and how they look like. In here we have apple, banana, strawberries and other fruits. It knows that this is an apple and it separates by itself, where it does not recognize any other data which is a different fruit in this case, and then it separates the apple from rest of the fruits. And this is called unsupervised learning, where machine knows already and it means to separate only one set of data that we have given to the machine. Supervised learning, it is when we purchase something from Amazon, when we watch movie in Netflix, and when we watch something on YouTube. There are a lot of examples that comes from based on the choice we make when we go to Amazon, we purchase a product, and based on our choice, the computer recognizes similarity traits and always put that product in the front of our home screen. This is how unsupervised learning works. Moving to reinforcement learning. Actually, reinforcement learning works on reward and punishment method. For example, the punishment model. In this reinforcement learning, the agent is forced to get the best outcome by trial and error method under the given environment. So for example, we have a car here, and let's assume that this is a driverless car or autonomous car, which is supposed to get to the destinations where it is going to get the reward. If the car does not go to these destinations, it will either cross to the punishments, which nobody like to get eaten by a crocodile, or to the danger sign. So the best outcome for this car, the only one outcome to its destinations and get the reward. So this is how reinforcement learning works, and we'll talk more about this on our next upcoming classes. Now, applications of reinforcement modeling in a reinforcement model is basically a selfless self-driving car that getting more popularity these days. However, these cars are yet to be perfected, and there are a lot of things to be done in self-driving cars. Now, algorithms of machine learning. We will learn about algorithms, and in supervised learning we have regressions, random forest, classifications, KNN, trees, logistic regressions, naive bias. Then we have unsupervised learning method, in which cluster, SVD, PCA analysis, aphorism, FP growth, and hidden macro. Learning, as we have already seen, there is only two ways. One is reward and punishment method, so there is not much to be added in reinforcement learning method. Now let's talk more about deep learning and artificial neural network. So deep learning is the broader subfield of artificial intelligence which solves major limitations of machine learning model. It mimics human brain neural system such as high resolution image processing, speech recognitions, self-driving car, and so on. So this is how it works. Actually, when we talk about AI, the feed is completely different than we see in different programs like if or else statement. Here they use output and input both. So here we have a deep neural network. We can also say as the hidden network, hidden layers. And here we have given the input. So these are the networks of neural networks. We call them neural networks. It actually mimics a human brain like a structure, and this is how we get from the output, and we recognize the images. So for example, let's take an example of working off an ANN artificial image system. So we have numerous images that we have given to our system, and from there it recognizes which images that we have to select from the given to the program, or to the artificial intelligence, to AI. For example, first the image will appear on the first layer, which is stage 1, hidden layer 1. Then on a stage 2 it will be more clear, and then stage 3 it will matches the images with the images we have here. So one images or the data we have from the existing in stage 3, it will finally give the output of the images we have given. So for example, this is just a metaphoric name, which is name David Palm, country Brazil, age 26, and so on. So this is how artificial neural network work. So, and how the ANN system work. Now, moving to the real world applications of AI. Talking about real applications, like we spoke earlier, this is we used in social bots, autonomous vehicle, Amazon Alexa. This is another example of narrow AI. And then image recognition. So you can see text to speech, speech to text, image to text, and these are all done by image recognitions, or narrow AI in short. We have seen industrial applications in mostly in healthcare. Then we have online shopping, banking, logistics, manufacturing, and marketing. So these are several applications. However, the applications of AI is broader in today's implementations, and there is a vast majority that we can use AI in broader applications. I hope you have liked the video, and if you have liked the video, please subscribe to our channel, and we're sure to bring you more contents that is useful for you.